All right. What is up, Raider Nation? Happy Monday. We're going to go ahead and get into it. But let's go ahead and kick this thing off. Here we go.
Oh no! We suck again!
What is good, nation? Salute to everybody in the building and everybody pulling up. Appreciate you guys. Happy Monday. Welcome to another Raiders Unfiltered. I'm your boy, I'm your host, Jay Raider in the building. Appreciate you guys. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button on your boy on this channel. Does help to go ahead and really support the show and continue to grow the channel. Appreciate you guys. As you just saw, we suck again. That plainly put, we just suck again. It is what it is. But we're going to go ahead and get into it. Before we do, make sure you guys go ahead and strap yourselves in. This ain't your typical show. And I'm going to explain why. Let me go ahead and greet everybody in the building. Make sure, again, hit that subscribe button. On the vertical stream right now, it is subscriber only. So if you want to be a part of the chat, hit that subscribe button to be a part of the chat on the vertical stream. Real quick, shout out to my guy Jack in the building. Salute. Appreciate you pulling up. Shout out to Sacktown Raider Mike in the building. Salute, my guy. Appreciate you pulling up. Navman in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you. Raider J Mar. Salute, brother. Welcome. Appreciate you. Anthony, the great and powerful Anthony in the building. Salute, my guy. Appreciate you pulling up. Raider Ray in the building. What's good, my guy? None other than Mobile Raider is in the place to be. Salute, my guy. Appreciate you pulling up. Thank you for tapping in. Troy Gill in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you. Happy Monday. Lake Shore Raider in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you tapping in. Salute. And Shock Bowers just pulled up right now. Salute. What is good, y'all? Hey, I hope you guys had a great and beautiful Thanksgiving. Hope you guys enjoyed your family. Ate a lot of fucking turkey, for the drinkers, for the smokers, whatever. Hope you guys had a great time too. Relax. Everybody deserves a little bit of R&R, so I hope you guys had a great time over on Thanksgiving and over the Thanksgiving break. That's if you had a 3-day weekend, 4-day weekend, or if you just had the day off, hey, at least you got Thanksgiving off. I remember when I didn't have Thanksgiving, I had to work through those holidays. Those were rough times. Those were rough times. Hopefully never again. But hey, salute to you guys. All right. This is not your typical show. I was actually a little kind of hesitant to even do a show today, but I really wanted to go. The driving force behind it was you guys, to be honest. I think I covered a lot of shit yesterday in that post game reaction show with my guy Raider Jeff and Raider Will. Salute to them. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe on their channels. Great show. If you missed it, make sure you hit that link down in the description. Go ahead and watch that replay after the show's over. I don't expect to be too long. Not going to be a 2.5 hour show. None of that today. We're going to go ahead and really kind of get into the nitty gritty. I'm really going to go ahead and honestly talk to you guys about kind of everything up to this point. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. I'm sick of the shit. I'm sick of saying the same shit over and over. I don't want to go ahead and read you guys' box score. I don't want to go ahead and tell you what the Raiders should have done, what they shouldn't have done, we should have done right, what they did wrong. You already know. It's not a fucking mystery. It's not. Everybody in this chat, everybody watching the stream, everybody who's subscribed to this channel, and even if you're not subscribed to the channel, you already know. If you're a Raiders fan, you've been keeping up with this season, whether you're diehard like me or you're a casual fan, fair weather fan, whatever, it don't matter. We just straight ass this season. And that's just the bottom line. No matter what I say, no matter what, I could go ahead and give you guys like this deep analysis and whatnot. At this point in time, it ain't gonna change shit. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and do this show with you guys. We're gonna go ahead and talk this shit out. We're gonna go ahead and really vent our frustrations and really get into the nitty-gritty things, because there's some questions that I have, some topics, some segments, whatever, that is probably on the back of everybody's mind. And I want to go ahead and really emphasize that on this show today. So it ain't your typical, we're going to go ahead and review yesterday's game and talk about all the bullshit that just went wrong. Yeah, trust me, there's plenty to go ahead and talk about. At the end of the day, especially the way this team has been performing week in, week out, plenty of that to go around for sure. But we're gonna get into like the shit that I know it's on everybody's mind, the shit that everybody keeps talking about. We're just gonna go ahead and do it. And we're gonna talk about it. So, but before we do, really quick, again, and if you guys have questions, hey, make sure you guys go ahead and hit up the chat. If you guys have comments, hit up the chat periodically. You already know I'm going to go ahead and let you guys up. Put your comment on the screen so that way we can go ahead and share, comment, talk about all the good stuff. My guy, Mobile Raider, it's Silver and Black Radio Podcast. Hang on 1 second. Oops, I had it. It's this one. That's Will's channel. So make sure you guys go ahead and give my guy Will subscribe. Same thing for Jeff. Go ahead and give him a subscribe as well. Great show this morning. Try to stir pot a little bit for the whole Max talk. I ain't having it, bro. But all right, let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Welcome again. Raiders Unfiltered Monday, Overreaction Monday. We're going to go ahead and talk about the whole damn thing. Again, if you guys didn't watch the game yesterday, which I don't blame you, but fortunately, I'm a fan. I'm always going to fucking watch these games, even if they're 0-17. Unfortunately, Raiders lost again. 31-24 was the final score yesterday. Raiders now dropped to 2-10 for the season. And this just came out today. Raiders officially eliminated from the playoffs. It's official. Season is done. We are cooked. That's it. That's all she wrote. So any hopes, any thoughts of trying to go ahead and put up a run together to try to possibly sneak in to a playoff appearance, that's out the door. And that this, it's funny. This post is from CBS, and they fucking got Gino right on the money. They got Pete right on the money. Look at that. Look at that. It's just like fucking Gino's like about to fucking have his head is about to burst. Pete is looking like he don't know where the fuck he's at. Completely lost, just like this team this season. It's just funny. It's comical. I saw this and I was like, "Fuck, this is a spoof," but this is from like CBS Sports, the NFL on CBS. So I thought that was fucking funny. But yeah, but officially, we are eliminated for the playoffs, especially holding a record of 2-10. It's not surprising that this shit happened, but wanted to put that out there because that's just it's kind of like that final icing on the season. It's just type shit. So, yeah, but the season's officially done. I mean, at this point, we've talked about endlessly on what should be next from this team. I think just having that been put out today should be no surprise that we should now be in an evaluation mode type season for the rest of the 5 games. We got 5 games. Excuse me. We got five games left on this season on the calendar. And these 5 games are going to go by quick. So we've said this over and over and over again. It's like I'll try not to repeat the same shit, but it's just sometimes you just can't help it. We should be evaluating talent, and that should be the focus from here on out for the next 5 games. But who knows? And we're going to talk about it in just a sec. There's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, which makes me feel a little bit more hopeful. But it's useful information by having this having some things happen yesterday that kind of sheds a little bit of light. Well, it doesn't shed light, but it brings a little bit of light as far as having any type of silver lining to this season, right? But let me go into the comments, y'all. I appreciate you guys again. Salute to you guys. Thank you for pulling up and rocking with me on this Monday night. We're just gonna go ahead and shoot the shit. We're gonna talk our shit. You already know what time it is. Again, y'all have your opinions. They're good. I may or may not agree with them, but I will always respect your opinion. So I appreciate you guys. So let's see here. Let me go back. I miss a couple people. There you go. All right. All right. Mobile Radio says we were the laughing stock at the stadium yesterday. Yes, I heard. And we're the fucking laughing stock of the season, bro, of the league. This is probably. I mean, we always get shit year in and year out, but I think this year is probably the worst. To be honest with you. See, I used to visit your area almost weekly during the season. There you go. Let's see here. Yes, Patriots and Giants are playing today. So I guess today we are Giants fans. If anything, if you're following the tankathon, whatever, and we'll get into that in just a bit as well. Got that lined up. So for sure. Let's see. Shout out to my guy Dixon in the building. Appreciate you, my guy. My liver, don't know it. Thanksgiving, no more. Facts. Cheers, brother. Cheers. Salute, man. Shout out to my guy GMX in the building. What up, big dog Jay? Pinche Raiders, bro. Pinche Vale Verga. Yep. Facts, bro. Facts. Let's see here. I got some more comments here. Shout out to Shock Bowers. I don't see any more wins this season. We should be getting top 2 pick. Okay, I agree. The only one that we may be able to go ahead and maybe sneak in a win is that Giants game towards the end of the season. We'll talk about that in just a bit. Even that's kind of 50-50. I don't even know what's going on with Dart. I know that he's injured. I just haven't. Not a Giants fan, not following his progress or anything like that. So I don't know. As we get closer to the game, probably start looking into it more. But I think they still have Russ as the starting quarterback. So we'll see. I'm not watching the game. I'll probably turn it on after the show. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Yeah, see. Hopefully the Giants win tonight. For sure. My guy Navman says, my patience is wearing thin. The presser should not even happen. Just a waste of our time on the scripted shit. What is asked? Beat writers need to grow some nuts. Fuck them. I've been done with the pressers, bro. 100% been done with these pressers. All the shit that is said in that presser, it's just a bunch of bullshit by Pete. Pete's always gonna try to sell us. Ain't never gonna change, to be honest. And then I'm just not interested. I did watch a little bit of it, but I was like kind of in and out. Jeff and Chris's show this morning, so I didn't get the full thing. But I most of the time, if it's a Pete thing, I don't really go ahead and tap in, And from what I heard from the little stuff that I did hear, and I was also, mind you, working, it was just a bunch of bullshit. It was just a bunch of bullshit. So to me, it's, yeah, you're right. They should not happen. Well, the Pete ones definitely should not happen because it's just going to tell us the same fucking shit. I don't know why he even had a recap. Well, I mean, they put it as a recap for the Charger game. He always does one after the game or whatever, and I get it, but it's just the same shit. Well, Gino had some good looks, and we ran the ball a couple times, and we just couldn't quite get there, and blah blah blah, and this and that. I don't care, bro. Don't fucking care. At this point, I really don't. I really don't. The whole this is the thing. I don't know if it's scripted. I don't know if they screen their questions. No clue. And I watch Q and his show and Locked On. He says that they don't have anything like that going on. I do understand the part that they have to kind of say it a specific way. They just can't come out straight out and just like, hey, why aren't you doing this? What's the reason behind this? Da 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 da. They have to kind of say it in a way where they're able to go ahead and have these coaches bite and be able to answer some of these questions. It still has to be a polite and somewhat thoughtful manner, whatever. I get that whole part. I get that part. My part is that these guys also need to kind of start pushing the envelope a little bit and start asking some of these tough questions. I think I think eventually it will happen. I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. I'm pretty sure once we get towards that off season, you'll probably start seeing that more. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I really don't give a fuck about none of those pressers anymore. I care less. It's just a bunch of bullshit. Shout out to my guy Troy. Old man P should have fired Chip Kelly during the bye and give Olsen 2 weeks to prepare for the rest of the season. All coaches should have been fired. All coaches should be fired, excuse me. And Spytech should be able to get new coaches. 100%, my guy Troy. It would have been the fucking wise move to make a move like that during the bye, but they decided to go. They made no moves, and the first blood that was taken was Tom McMahon's blood, right? He's the one. He's the first one that got the axe. All right, and then and I knew that was just it had to be done, but that was going to be always a sacrificial lamb. And they wanted to go ahead and test to see our reaction to his firing and whatnot. But ultimately, as we played more game, and as nothing changed and we got even worse, something had to give, right? And we talked about it yesterday with the whole Chip thing. We don't know if that shit is really true, where he was, I don't want to say particularly sabotaging plays, but if he was not calling out the right plays, or he was giving half plays or whatever, I mean, that, and if Pete knew that for a long time, that should have been dealt with a long time ago. And if he just found out, then what tabs are you keeping on your offensive coordinator? And again, this goes back to the level of accountability. There is no accountability because all this shit happened, and you got fired. Browns game? Yeah. So he got fired week 12. So you let 12 weeks of this go by, basically almost unchecked. It's like, come on. Yeah. J Mar says, I'm on the final level of acceptance. My acceptance level is already gone, bro. But I'm glad you still have a little bit in you. There you go. Kick more, like never having a chance. Yup. Let's see. Now, who said that? Now, Tim, I put 31-14, not 31-24. The banner had it right. So there you go. Yeah. Nav, clearly the only players that needed to remain on this team after the season are those rookie contracts: Colton, Trey, Mike Mayer. Dump the rest, start over. Pete will retire. Find your young head coach. I am in agreement. I am in agreement with that, my friend. I am in agreement with that. There has. I think we're at the point again that we have to do this shit again, and that's the shit that's infuriating. That we thought bringing a guy with as much experience as a guy like Pete Carroll, that he should have this already figured out, and it should be a plug and play situation. But that has not been the case. It's been disastrous, to say the least. Disastrous. So this is the thing where we need to go ahead and well, the front office, we ain't gonna do shit, but the front office really has to go ahead and make a decision on whether they're gonna go ahead and keep Spytek or not, first and foremost, and if they're gonna go ahead and fully torch the rest of this organization. And I think that's what has to be done. I think you have to go ahead and go full torch. I mean, at this point, I don't even see what the use of keeping anybody would be good for. And this might be a situation where PG has to go out, find a new team, and if he has success, hey, more power to him. We just got to go ahead and keep our eye on our ball. That's it. So whoever that new head coach is going to be, whether it's going to be Joe Brady, Chris Shula, whoever you want to bring in, At this point, I'm almost just don't give a fuck about who you bring in. Um, almost anybody will probably be better than Pete Carroll. And it's funny, we said this shit before with the prior head coaches, and yet here we are again. It just shit like that. It just boggles my mind, pisses me off, and that's where I've kind of been at the last few weeks. I just kind of, you know, try to push that shit to the side and like, I don't know. But I think I'm just done with it. I'm just done with it. Shout out to my guy Rosetown in the building. Appreciate you. We are going to end up with that number 2 pick. Giants catching another dub. We're sure Saints and Titans face off. If we lose out, Titans will have first pick. Who knows? We can end up with it. In fact, and this is a thing, even if we're number 2 and Titans are 1, bro, I doubt they get another fucking premier quarterback at 1. And so if our thing is a quarterback, 2, we good at 2. But now this is where we have to take account on whether or not Pete is going to be here, and that's a whole other thing that we're going to go ahead and fucking talk about. For real, I mean, it's a whole thing because it will alter decisions. Because we know for a fact, hence his words, Pete is not interested in developing anybody. He's here to win. He said that clearly. So what is that going to go ahead and kind of translate through a draft, right? Because we know Spytech is focused on really building something. Pete is just like, give me the guys that are going to go ahead and help me to win. I mean, we're at a point where we have 3rd round picks sitting on the bench. Still, we have a 2nd round pick that is still getting very minimal targets. Still, we're at week fucking 12, officially eliminated from the playoffs, and still having to fucking hear and deal with this type of shit. That it's shit like that. It's shit like that. If we have Pete around another year, it is shit like that. And I kid you guys not, it's going to be a fucking hell of a year. It's going to be another disappointing year, frustrating year. And if we even improve by 2 games, those 2 games are not going to look pretty. I really don't know. I don't envision a future with Pete Carroll here. I'm just being honest. I don't see a future with Pete Carroll here. And if you guys think he should be here, I might want to go ahead and reevaluate myself and what you've seen so far from this season, because nothing has been indicative of that. Now, if you want to go ahead and use the excuse of, well, we need to keep that continuity, I think we're at a point now that unfortunately you're just gonna have to cut that out. You're just gonna go ahead. You just, things are so bad, the gameplay is so bad, decision making so bad and incompetent that you can't knowingly have this type of like cancerous element to your team. You are in for a rough road. You are for a rough road, 100%. Man says, when Tomlin asked about the fans chanting "Fire Tomlin," he said, "I don't blame them. They're right." That's how a beat reporter asks, and how a head coach responds. Yeah, facts. Let's see. There you go. Dixon again. He's giving me the highlights of the presser. Question: what do you guys have to do to improve? Answer: we gotta get better every week. We just gotta get better every week. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get a Pete impersonation down for you guys. I'm trying to get his little speech pattern, his voice. I'm trying to do the mannerism. I'll get it. I think I'll get it by the time the season's over. So, Shock Bowers, keep Pete until the end of the season and then get rid of him. No need to bring on an interim and win a couple of games. 100%. My thing is, I just don't envision a future, next season with Pete here. I don't envision a full off season with Pete here. And let's start getting into that. Again, appreciate you guys pulling up. Shout out to my guy GeoMax with the rate. Hold on, bro. Let me do it right. Raiders. You already know. Salute, my guy. Appreciate you. All right. Keep bringing those in, guys. Keep bringing those in. I want to touch on this part. What should we expect the next 5 games? And this is kind of going back to, we're done with the season, but what should we expect? We're gonna still see the same shit. We're still gonna see horrible gameplay. Dude, for those, I want to put it out there. For those are expecting that Greg Olson's gonna be the savior, not gonna happen. Now, are things gonna improve slightly? It is trending towards that direction. And I wanted to go ahead and put this out there as well. Greg Olson having any influence on Pete? I think yes, because they share some history. I think that is slowly happening. Now, this is the big thing that kind of sticks out, is that you had Caleb Rogers start yesterday's game, and he played 17 snaps, and he did fairly well. Didn't do great, didn't do good, but he did fairly well. Kid didn't look lost. He didn't look scared. He didn't look like, what the fuck? What do I do? That goes to show he has some promise. And this is why Raider Nation has been screaming and shouting from the top of their fucking lungs to fucking rookies. You fucking rookies. I've been to everybody, content creators, fans, everybody. My fucking grandma, if she was a fucking Raiders fan, if she watched football, she would say, play the fucking rookies. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science, Pete. You make it rocket science. You make it like this whole elaborate shit. You're making it more than what it should be. And to be honest, you're trying. It seems to me at times, and I could be wrong, guys. I don't know. To correct me if I'm wrong. To me, it seems like you're trying to fucking reinvent the wheel. Some things you don't reinvent. Simply put, you have to build a team. If you didn't address certain areas, that's going to be a problem. And to go ahead and wishful think it and see like, okay, we're going to go ahead and try to put our best foot forward. We're going to figure it out. And if it takes, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, mid-season or towards the end of the season, well, hey, that's what it has to happen. No, that's not what is supposed to happen. You're supposed to go ahead and put the best product on field. You're supposed to go ahead and try to get the best coaches to go ahead and do and implement what you want to go ahead and do. We are here, I understand the whole nepotism thing. I don't really give a fuck about that. The only problem that now it creates with the whole nepotism thing, bringing your sons, is now you can't fire these motherfuckers. So they're greased in. So who do you go ahead and look to go ahead and correct a mistake like that? Spy Tech? Well, he hasn't shown a whole lot of grit with the this majority of this regular season. I don't count him to go ahead and do what's necessary. Mark, forget it. He's already saying he's not going to fire Pete this season, right? So whether you like it or not, we're fucked. We're married with fucking the Carrolls until the end of the season. It is what it is, but the frustrating and the part that pisses everybody off is that we were put in that position, and we had to go ahead and endure 12 now 13 weeks of just ass play, hot dog water play from this fucking team, which on paper looked way better than what it is right now. Not a whole lot, but better than 2-10 at week 13. I don't know. But what should we expect the next 5 games? Circling back to that. Sorry, I went off a little bit of rant. I'm gonna get to your comments, guys, in just a bit. What do we expect? Honestly, it's still gonna be the shit show. It's gonna take something really big for one to go ahead and pull Gino, right? And this might be a thing where we won't see Gino pulled until maybe in the last 2 games of the season. It might be that. I don't see it happening any earlier than that. Two, we are probably going to start seeing some more of these rookies get some more burn. It's starting to happen with the whole Caleb Rogers thing. Gives me hope. It gives me that's why I go back to that silver lining thing that I can go ahead and look towards on looking something positive, right? So now we see this guy Caleb Rogers, and he did fairly well yesterday. We just need to see more of this guy. We need more body of work to go ahead and make a really accurate assessment of him. We need to see Charles Grant out in that field, especially with the struggling DJ Glaze. This might be a situation where you probably have to bump up Glaze to guard, and that might be the situation, or you might have to go ahead and pick one of the two evils between Glaze and Forsyth and see who is the worst one. At this point, to me, it's still going to be Forsyth, and plug him in. And you might have to run with Glaze, and this might be something where you can go ahead and try out in the off season to go ahead and slide him up to guard, and then go out and actually draft an actual tackle, a higher place tackle. That might be, or go out and get a free agent tackle. It just, we're gonna have to see what becomes available come the off season, right? You know, I still see us struggling offensively, still struggling to go ahead and break 20 points. And we haven't broken 20 points in how many games? 3 games now, right? So we're still in that situation. The last time we broke 20 points was, first week of November in that game versus the Jaguars, right? We scored 29. That was highlight, but you really have to kind of have these guys try to find themselves and try to it's going to be a slow thing. It's going to be like molasses. You're going to try to go ahead and just, you're running off good play after good play to give you that momentum and just kind of carrying it off. But these games are not going to look a whole lot of more prettier. It's still going to be rough to watch. The only game that we maybe even have a remote shot is going to be that Giants game. And I think that game is going to look ugly as well. So, and if we do by any chance win it, I feel that it's going to be a close game that we pull off the win. And every time I say that, we fucking lose. We lose royally. So, but I think that Greg Holson has some influence. I think we're going to start seeing it implemented and carry over the next few weeks. And then we're going to start seeing some of these guys get more burn, more targets. We already saw Jack Bash get more than 2 fucking targets this past game. He got 1 more target. He got an extra target. He got 3 targets, 2 catches. That third target where it was just really good coverage, and that's just nothing you can do about. But he's getting more targets. So now on the other side of the ball with Darian Porter, that's a whole different other story. I don't think that's because Pete has so much influence. I don't think nothing happens on that side. Maybe eventually you probably see Darian Porter get more snaps. I'm still waiting to see more of Tonka. Still waiting to see Tonka. I'm still waiting to see more Pegues. He's out there, but it's just not enough. Not enough body work for JJ Pegues. So again, we'll see what happens, but I think he will have that influence. We had more snaps under center, less out of shotgun, and especially with the struggling offensive line, running out of shotgun is not quite ideal to try to run the ball, right? Especially with the running back like Genty, he really gets going once he has a momentum instead of going ahead and doing his runs from a dead stop. That always becomes a little bit more tricky, um, you know. But I've said it that I want them to start running more, right out of center, and that's starting to happen. We're starting to see more success. We're starting to be more consistent with running the ball, which is good, but we still have a lot of work to do. But really quick again, let me go back to the chat. Again, appreciate you guys pulling up and rocking with me on this Monday night. Overreaction Monday. Appreciate you guys. Make sure if you guys haven't done so already, hit that like and subscribe button on your board on this channel. Appreciate you guys. Salute to everybody here. All right. Let me go ahead and go back to the comments. Go ahead and put up those comments, y'all. Let your voice be heard. All right, let me go back here. All right. Go back to my guy Rosetown. These reporters are soft, not asking real and hard questions for all of us. They're giving Gino and Pete a pass. Yeah. I with that, I don't know, man. I mean, they should be asking those fucking questions, bro. I don't know if it's like a threat of being blackballed. I feel like it is, but obviously they're not going to come out and say that. They're not. Like, we're not going to get blackballed. We're not going to. There's still like a little bit of a code of conduct. They maybe try to fold somebody in there if they cross the line or they make a inappropriate, quote unquote, inappropriate question or whatever. They might pull somebody's credentials. You don't know. I don't know. It could be that. I don't want to just shit straight on the media guys because that could be also a possibility. So I'll play a little bit devil's advocate. They probably know, or that something has been maybe insinuated along the lines like, if you guys fuck around and don't, say something inappropriate, your credential might be pulled and you're out of there. I don't know. But they should find a way to be creative, to go ahead and press a little bit. Pressing a little bit is not bad. Just be respectful in the form that they ask it. So my guy Nav says, let's think about this for a moment. If we all was able to pop in for a moment to give Mark 30 minutes on what to do, what will he say? Will he say, fuck it, dump it all? I don't know, man. He's wishy-washy. Sometimes he listens to us, or he'll listen to the fan base, or the majority consensus, and then sometimes he'll just go off his fucking it's a very minimal football experience instinct, right? But this is the difference, and I'm still waiting to see if there if any effect is there. The Brady effect. He has a guy like Tom Brady, who is a partner of his in the building or a phone call away, that he can go ahead and rely on and bounce off ideas or situations that he needs to go ahead and get some help on. Now, is that being constantly utilized? I don't know. Somebody made a comment yesterday that Brady should give up commenting and focus solely on the team, or just stay the fuck out of the team's business and just go back and focus only on commentating and be a silent partner or be a minority owner and not metal, right? And it's a very fine line to go ahead and walk. But I agree with that. It's either you're going to be a part of this organization and you're going to go and you've invested money, but yet you want to go ahead and do something else. Then okay, do something else. Leave that, or point somebody who can go ahead and manage that. Guess what? We have a guy like that. His name is John Spytek. He's the general manager of this organization, and he's the one essentially that controls football operations. So I'm trusting your guy, right? And that's really who Mark should be turning to is John Spytek, his GM, to figure out like, hey, this is a situation. What do you think we should do? It's just period. That's what we have. That's just what you do. So, yeah, I agree 100%. Shout out to Jamar. He says we have to stop firing people without a replacement plan. I get where you're coming from, bro. The thing is, with head coaches, it's hard to go ahead and get a plan in place because with coaches, you have that human element. You don't know what's going to happen, right? We've had that happen with Cliff Kingsbury, perfect example. We had a verbal agreement. That deal fell through because we couldn't guarantee him that we're going to go out and get, a premier quarterback, hence Jaden Daniels or anybody within along those lines, right? He blocked. We're out of an offensive coordinator. The same situation follows same last year. Prime example, and I'm not buying the whole we weren't interested in fucking Ben Johnson. Shut the fuck up. You weren't interested in Ben Johnson. You guys were hyping him up. You guys were little shit was coming out about Ben Johnson and the Raiders. Now, whether or not Ben Johnson felt that way, I don't fucking think so. I think he really used us. But nonetheless, the front office thought he was going to be, or he was going to work up towards being the next head coach. It was all about Ben, whether or not it was on him, whether or not to go ahead and take the job. He said no. And then all of a sudden, we really weren't interested in them. Yeah, so that human element of things just you don't know what's going to happen. You know if these guys are going to want to accept the job or want to come over. And trust me, having a dysfunctional organization like we do, and we've been dealing with for the past, 6, 7, 8 years. You can even let's go back to 2003. We've been dealing with this shit since 2003 for going on 20 plus years of dysfunction and chaos and uncertainty. Who the fuck wants to come here, right? And again, I've said this before. For us to be able to go ahead and have the next head coach of the whole plan is just fucking scorch earth, this coaching staff, this regime, you're gonna have to throw money at it to replace those guys because people are not gonna want to come here when they know that they might not last a year. You got to think about it. You're uprooting your life. You're uprooting families. You're doing a lot of things to go ahead and change this person's way of living to come here and work here. Just think about it like if you guys have a job and you had an opportunity to go ahead and go work somewhere else for your company, get paid way fucking more, but you're going to have to go ahead and move yourself, your family to a different place, a place that you don't know anybody or you know very little people. It's a very scary and tough thing. It's hard to do. I know. So not a lot of people are going to be up for that. And if that shit don't work out, you're gonna have to move back or move somewhere else, or you can stay put until you find your next job. But there's a lot of uprooting. So that is not attractive for some people. It's just simply put. It's hard to go ahead and put a replacement plan. I get you. I get the fine point, but it's just hard to go ahead and do for sure. There you go. Let's see. They need an oil lamp period, 100%. Raider Ken says Aiden kind of has a passer rating and QB and completion percentage of any QB in Raiders history with their first 17 start. Enough said. Pete don't know what he doing. Bench Gino. I'm agree with you on one part is to go ahead and bench Gino. Look, honestly, at this point, I really don't fucking care whether it's Kenny Pickett or Aiden O'Connell, tomato. You know, anybody's better than Gino at this point. I really don't care. If I had to pick, it wouldn't be AOC. It would be Pickett just for the mobility part. If you think 5 sacks are rough, you think 10 is bad. That number is going to get way worse. You have a quarterback who has a very difficult time moving out of the pocket. You have now currently we have a quarterback who has mobility but has the ineptitude of moving out of the pocket. So we're fucked either way. Kenny Pickett, we'll see. But we saw in the previous game that he has fucking Butterfinger. So either way, we're fucked. It really doesn't. It won't change the outcome too much. We might look slightly better offensively, but whether it's Kenny or AOC, I really don't care. There you go. All right. If you guys haven't been watching, Sacktown has the update. Pats 10, Giants nothing. 15-17 left in the first out, but that was half hour ago. So they're in the second quarter. I don't know if the score changed or not, but yeah. All right, let's see here. Let me take a couple more. Troy says, if in the top 5 in the draft, then I hope Spytech will trade down for more picks. Draft online, pass rusher, then quarterback in the second round or third round. There you go. I'm not mad at that, bro. I'm not mad at that. It's just doing another Alex Leatherwood. Honestly, it gets me fucking nervous. You know, if we pull like another lineman pick and that doesn't work out. I think with Spytech, it might be if Spytech's here, I think it will be a little bit different. I think this guy does his homework a little bit better than that regime that was Gruden's guy. So I think he does a better homework than Gruden. And I forgot who the fuck was here. I think was it Mike Mayock, who's GM at the time. So there you go. Let's see. GMX says when Carroll decides to retire because a win now is nowhere near, Brady will influence a good draft pick to lure the next victim as coach. I hope you're right, dog. I hope you're right. But it's still going to take a lot of, it's still going to take a big ass bag to fucking like sweeten that fucking pot. Shout out to Hummer. Appreciate you, my guy, pulling up. All we need is new coaches, quarterback, wide receiver one online, a little help on the D line, linebacker, entire defensive backfield, depth above all, and half our cheerleaders are ugly. Other than that, we're okay. Damn, that was a laundry list. I almost ran out of breath. Facts. Hey, our cheerleaders are not that bad, bro. They're all right. They cool. It gets like, I don't know. I saw like something with the Raiderettes, and it just they're a little bit like the Laker girls, where it's just like gets a little bit too like Hollywoody, not so much cheerleading. I don't know. But yeah, hey, whatever. It's Vegas, bro. I'm pretty sure that they can find upgrades. So whatever. Let's see here. There you go. Roseanne says Pete throwing shit on the wall, hoping it to stick. I guess at this point, I don't even think he's doing that, bro. I think he's just throwing shit out the door, and I don't know. I think he forgets where he's at sometimes, bro. I don't know. Let's see here. Shout out to Jake. He says first pick for the best player for VPA, whether it's a quarterback, offensive, or defensive player. Second pick, quarterback. Raiders need some fresh blood, not some old ass Seahawk refuse. 100%. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. my thing is this. I don't think we need as many linemen as we think, but um, I don't know yet. To me, you might need yeah, you probably need about like 3 to 4 replacements on that team when you got JBJ and Colton Miller, and then for sure center guard. Who I guess you can go ahead and replace Glaze. If you can do that or push him up to guard, it's just all matter. I don't know. That's a whole other thing. So, um, I mean, I think he can do it at guard, but you know, that's a whole different story. But I think you can draft quality between that second and third round, um, or back up into the second, get another second round pick. You know, let's And that's the thing. We now see that Spytek has the balls to fucking jump around and move. The thing is just I think we went a little bit too far down, and then what we drafted in the third was you know, we don't know what Caleb Rogers is, Darren Porter, still he shows promise. He shows promise, but we don't even know what Charles Grant is, and that's the crazy part. So, but there's a lot of work to be done. And the thing with all that, we have we need about 18 starters for this next off season, and that's a lot of holes to fill. That's not even depth, guys. That's not even we're talking. That's a lot of positions. A lot of this is going to be done between the draft and free agency. We got some comp picks coming. That's going to help out a lot, but those are lower round picks. So yeah, a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. Shout out to my guy Navman in the building. Appreciate you, my guy, gifting 5 Just Raider memberships to the masses. Appreciate you, my guy. Salute to you. Thank you, brother. Salute to all the new members. I have exciting news for the members, and we're going to talk about that at the end of the show. So make sure you guys don't go anywhere. Exciting news for the members. And if you're not a member and you missed out on the gifted memberships, make sure you guys go ahead and become a member today. I have the link pinned up top in both chats on both verticals. Go ahead and become a member today. It does go along with to go ahead and keep the lights on here. I try to go ahead and do perks for you guys and give you guys first looks on a lot of the content that I put out. And we're going to do some good, fun shit that I have coming up really, really soon. Make sure you guys go ahead and stick around to the end of the show. We're going to be on I'll be on a little bit longer. Again, put your comments in. We're going to go ahead and go over everything. I got some more stuff that I'm going to go ahead and go over as well. But again, appreciate you, Nav. Salute to you, bro. Thank you. All right. Let me say again, do not put AOC out there to get killed. Let Gino get smashed week in and week out. There you go. I mean, the whole thing with that is that you also have to keep in mind, you have to try to give some of these guys confidence boost. Ashton Genty, Caleb Rogers, Jack Besh. You have to give certain guys some confidence. And Gino's hard with Gino. It's hard to do that. That would be the only reason why you would make a quarterback change, right? I feel Kenny Pickett, he went out and gave up a draft pick, but that motherfucker out there to work. The reason why I don't want AOC out there is just because I know the outcome to that's not. It's just going to look worse. It's going to look worse. We're trying to become better, or at least work towards to see if eventually we can become better. We won't know unless we put the best product forward. So let's see. Let me go ahead and put in a couple more comments. All right. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Dixon talking about some about some shit on here. Oh man, that's funny. Uh they should live shit the games on Pornhub to show how much ass play we show. Shut to you, bro. Oh man, that's funny. Uh Let's see. All right. Hummer says next 5 games we are 50-50 with the Giants. Other 4 I don't want to talk about. Yep, facts, bro. All right. Uh let me let me get back out of here. All right. Okay. I don't know. Well, hey, congrats to them, bro. There you go. All right, let me go ahead and continue on. Got a couple more topics I want to go ahead and hit. Again, Pete in the future, like I said earlier, to be honest, I don't see this motherfucker here in the off season. I don't see a future with with Pete and Raiders being the same vocabulary after this season's over. To be honest with you, and and if we want any type of future, Pete Carroll cannot be involved in that. We know where his mind's at, we know where his heart's at, and it's not developing, not creating, not building. He wants to win now, and he feels that it's just gonna magically appear, right? He's just gonna, I don't know if his thing is trying to acquire guys just through free agency and burn through all that cap that we have. I feel like that's gonna be if he sticks around, that's gonna be the outcome in this offseason. We're going to have maybe uh, a decent to mid type of draft. And then, even with the top pick, you know, I feel if Pete's here, we're going to have that type of draft. And then it's going to be a lot of free agent acquisitions, right? And even that, uh, we'll see. Because if it doesn't fit Pete's mold, this guy's fucking just shit. We seen that with Jermaine Pratt, the failure to even get any type of compensation, any type of capital, anything for Jermaine Pratt when you knew that you were going to go ahead and get him out. That goes to show you where Pete's mind and heart is. That is a prime indicator. And look at Jermaine Pratt now, just fucking terrorizing with the fucking Colts. And that's something that pick up the fucking phone, call the Colts, call teams around, and start betting what you can get for a guy like Jermaine Pratt. But what do you end up doing? Just go ahead and just flat out releasing him from his contract. So um it's shit like that that it just boils your blood. I don't know. I think that's the best way I can go ahead and put it. You know, um we're talking about the draft, you know, and I put the draft talk. Let's get into that part because this draft talk and Pete and future are connected. They coincide 100%. And I'm gonna keep saying this until it actually fucking happens. We cannot have we cannot have a real future if Pete is still here. That's just not in his interest. It's still going to be the fucking Geno show. There's going to be some type of fucking excuse why he's going to be given another year, another opportunity to start. He's worked. He's worked really hard in the off season, and he's done so much. He's been hitting the he's been hitting the gym and working out and doing private workouts and oh my god, it's just we've been in constant contact. It's gonna be that type of shit. It's gonna be that type of shit, and I'm just fucking done with it. We know what Geno is. Geno, if y'all think fucking Pete's past his prime, fucking Geno's on the same fucking wavelength. This dude is just done. We're not gonna get a better version of Geno. We're not gonna get the Seattle Seahawks version of Geno. You know, And if we're looking, maybe we get a watered down version of that as a fucking backup. This dude, if he continues on this league, he's just gonna be a fucking backup. All feelings aside, how I feel about Gino, because fuck that dude. I don't see him being nothing but either a journeyman quarterback, uh, or just a backup. That's it. The guy's 35, going to be 36 next year. You're expecting a lot, and even guys like Joe Flacco, which I feel he's fucking 3 times better than Gino. He even has his fucking glimpses, right? And I like Joe Flacco, but I know that this motherfucker is not the future for our fucking team. Like, this guy knows his fucking role. He's a journeyman fucking quarterback. He bounces around from fucking team to team. He's a backup guy. If you need him to win you a few games, he can go ahead and do that for you. We know that. Gino's probably going to be the same way, or he's just going to be there like when nobody else can go ahead and be able to sling the ball. He's going to be that guy who can step up and do that. That's it. But if you want to go ahead and be a contender, if you want to go ahead and be competitive and be taken seriously, and you're going to be with Pete and Gino for 100% sure. Not going to be with those two guys. Those two guys need to go. The question now raises with this, right? As we talk, with all this draft talk, and currently I'm going to go ahead and put this out right now. Hang on one second, y'all. With all this talk, and as we're looking, as half of us on this fucking show right now are watching the fucking Giants and the Patriots, looking to see what's the outcome of that fucking game and cheering on the Giants. We are currently number 4 in the draft order as of right now, as of today, at this point in time. Hopefully you guys can see a little bit better. Let me zoom in. All right, there we go. So Vegas number 4, tied 2-10 with the Saints, the Giants, then us, based on the strength of schedule. Tennessee is currently at number 1. We'll see what happens with them. If Giants win, obviously we bump up to 3. And I think somebody said Giants and the Saints are gonna be playing pretty soon. Could be wrong. I don't know. So that might change. So we might land at number 2. You never know, guys. We might land at number 1. Tennessee might fucking eventually figure some shit out. I might win a couple games. You don't know. It could be that. It could just happen just like that. Or they can win like 3 games in a row. The last, 3 out of 5 games. You never know. It could something like that could potentially happen. We could potentially be at number 1, but that's kind of a long shot. But either way, whatever way it turns out, Pete can't be here for this. So for those wanting to go ahead and elect getting a quarterback in this, at number 2, because if Tennessee's number 1 and we're number 2, for damn sure we can go ahead and get the top quarterback coming out of this draft. Now, is Pete going to want that? I don't know, right? You can make the argument, well, we need to build the offensive line. I totally get that. That's going to go ahead and take a lot more draft picks to do that. You could trade down and get more draft picks in the second round. Maybe get another first. I don't know. There's so many ways you can go ahead and do it. We're going to start doing those mocks really, really soon. I'm going to start having to whip those out, dust them off. We're going to get those things going. I'm not quite there ready to go ahead and do that yet, but I still need to do a little bit more of my research as far as other guys. I've been really focusing on the quarterbacks the last, month and a half now. But I've been focusing more on that. But as obviously, we've gone down the weeks, that's also going to be another key forefront is looking out for the next line guys, right? But either way, whatever that looks like, Pete can't be here. Do you really, guys, the question raises, do you trust Pete Carroll with a rookie quarterback? Do you trust Pete Carroll going out and getting you a top lineman. What if you get it? What if your first 2 draft picks, right? So we get somebody top, we get the best lineman available at number 2. Like this guy's a fucking. I don't know who it is. I'm gonna just be honest because I haven't been keeping up on that part. But or let's say let's say it's BPA, right? And then you get you get 2. Spytech doesn't move and trades up, and we're able to get somehow a second pick in the second round, get 2 linemen. How is that going to look? Is he going to play him right away, or are we going to go through this whole bullshit again? They're not ready. They haven't shown it in at practice. Yada yada yada. The same shit we've been hearing, week in week out for the last 2 months, 3 months now. What is that going to look like? Do you trust Pete Carroll to go ahead and really be able to put a winning team? Because if he wants to win, this should have been already done. We should be way better than 2-10. At least be on the path to win 5 games. At least on the 4-win column, we should. Or if we were at least be at the 4-win mark column, but we are not. What it looks like right now, we're still heading into that. It looks like 2 wins is going to be it for this year. I don't know if anything else changes. I really don't know. But ask yourselves that. It's an honest, legitimate question. Do you guys trust Pete Carroll having him here to go ahead and really formulate and put together a winning team from this draft and free agency when we just had one this year that looks like straight shit? Balked on Mekhi Becton. We balked on a number of players that we needed. Not even players, even some of these players. And remember, shout out to my guy Rundown. When we're doing Good Morning Raiders early in the offseason, we were talking about fucking dudes that weren't even premier dudes to just try to, they were just solid dudes to come in and plug up the holes that we have. And we didn't even do that. There was a lot of dudes that we passed up on. A lot. So how do you trust Pete and this regime to go ahead and get it done? I really don't. So I don't see a future with Pete here. Now, however they want to go ahead and do that, whether they want to go ahead and shelf this guy by letting him know he needs to go ahead and take an advisory role or whatever. I don't care. That however they want to go ahead and frame that and put that together, that's between Mark and Spytech and Brady. If they want to go ahead and let them know, you can either take this advisory role or you can go ahead and retire or take door number 3, which door number 3 is we're gonna have to go ahead and forcibly remove you. So you have 3 futures that you can go ahead and choose from. One is you're involved with this team. 2 are that you're not involved with this team. But either way, you're not in control of the team anymore. That's probably the way you're gonna have to go ahead and frame it up. And you gotta let them know, hey, either way, your time as head coach is done. It's done. We can't move forward and build a winning team or try to go ahead and work towards building a winning team until you're out of that position. We need to bring in somebody new. We can go ahead and utilize your opinions, your expertise, your experience, but that's where it ends. Or take your little golden parachute, fly off to sunset, say, hey, you know what? I think it's just better for me to go ahead and spend time with my family, enjoy my retirement, enjoy my golden, whatever, don't matter. Way. All right, there you go. I don't know what happened with my picture, but this is the thing that I'm fearful is that this shit is gonna get ugly. What if that's true that Pete does not want to step down? They have to put his ass out, and guess what? The shit is really gonna come out. You're gonna hear all this shit come out, and we're gonna have to go through this whole shit of trying to lure all these fucking coaches to come and want and coach here, and any foremost interview to even try to go ahead and coach here. And this is where I say you got to throw like a lot of money at this shit to fix this fucking problem. But whoever you fucking choose, I mean, we could say like you got to go stick with them, but you have to try to make the best choice, the most intelligent choice you can, and try to stick with it. Unless it just looks like utter garbage, then fuck it. We have to go back through this process. That's the sad part. I hope it doesn't happen, but I feel like I have a real deep feeling that it's just gonna get things are gonna get ugly. Things are gonna so everybody brace yourselves. It's probably gonna be another shit show. It's gonna be another, type of season where it's just shit on the Raiders, drama, turmoil, whatever. This will be another one of those. But it's a necessary evil. Pete can't be here. We just have to go ahead and get everything. You have to get everything. That means parting ways with PG, parting ways with Olsen, parting ways with a lot of the bad stuff. There's some good coaches. Robbie Leonard, fortunately, has to be one of those guys that gonna have to clip. Because whatever way, at the end of the day, whoever you bring in as your next coach is gonna want to bring in their own guys. That's just the bottom line. Everybody's gonna want to bring in their own people. There's no exception to the rule. We just hope the next guy, whoever that is, makes an intelligent choice and makes a choice that is team oriented for the benefit of the team, not ego driven, like it's been for the last year almost, because this is essentially what it's been. It's been really ego driven. It's clear cut. And if you don't think it's ego driven, then you've been living on Mars, simply put. And I get it. There has to be some level of confidence and ego in this thing. But when you're blatantly just ignoring all type of reasoning and logic, there's a fucking problem. There's a problem. And this organization can't move forward, can't get better until that is removed. Simply put. You're just going to have to gut the whole thing. Just think about it. And I don't want to even use this now. Think about it as a cancer. You can have to fucking remove the whole fucking organ. Because that organ is just done bad. You get the transplant, you get a new organ in there. Hopefully that organ, the body accepts the new organ, and then you can go ahead and live a long, healthy life. But it also can be rejected. And that's a problem about doing stuff like this, is that nothing is for certain. We don't know the outcome of it. We just don't. So that's my overreaction for you guys. It's been a long fucking rant for like the last, I don't know, 20 plus minutes. But again, I appreciate everyone who's been tapping in and rocking with me on this Monday night, and also been watching that Monday Night Football show. Make sure you guys, if you guys haven't done so, hit that like and subscribe button on your boy here. Just Raiders, baby. Smash that subscribe button. Click those thumbs. It does help get the channel out into the YouTube algorithm. Appreciate you guys. Salute to you guys. Salute to all the new members out there as well. Appreciate Nav dropping those memberships earlier. Appreciate you, my guy. Let's go ahead and get your comments in, guys. I'm gonna take a few more comments. We're gonna go ahead and roll with this just for a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna head on out. But let's go ahead and keep it going. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Appreciate you guys. Let's see here. Salute to my guy Lunatic Raider in the building. Appreciate you, my guy. Salute. Let's see here. Dixon says, I would have cut Kappa already. You and me both. I wouldn't have even brought in Kappa, bro. Fucking 11 million. I would have paid that motherfucker $1.1 million, bro. Just I don't know what's the league minimum, 750. So that's just above the league minimum. All right. 1.1 is fair. I don't know about 11 million. That motherfucker ain't doing nothing anywhere near 11 million worthy. There you go. Troy says, fire old man Pete, go get Brian Flores. There you go. Yes, sir. Shout out to my guy Raider Will in the building. Silver and Black Radio Podcast. Appreciate you, my guy. Salute. Let's see. Don't be talking draft, bro. It's only week 14. I don't care. I'm gonna do it, bro. Let's get that draft talk in. For sure. We'll do a little bit more draft talk, but yeah, Hummer says Pete Carroll had some excellent coordinators under coaching his successful years. They made the right moves. Look where most of them went. They are successful. Without them, Pete is mid at best. And that's the thing, bro. This is where the saying goes that the game has passed you by, and taking time off, it probably was a detriment to him. Where I've said this multiple times, this game evolves really, really quickly. Guys, shit that was done maybe like 2-3 years ago is almost obsolete by now. Pete's running, case in point, and shout out to Sam G, who pointed this out. He's saying, we're running on cover 3. Everybody's running cover 1. Too high safety type shit. So it's like it's just his whole thought, his whole way of doing things. He's trying to go back to that 2014, 2015 era, and it's just not working. It's just not, and I think see, it's like Belichick. Sounds like Belichick, same shit. And it's like these guys are trying to hold on to what worked back, a decade ago, plus 5 years, and they're going about it in the wrong way, where they should be figuring out what is the new innovative shit. What is the shit that is catching on? What is the trend? Because hate it or love it, you have to follow that trend, because it's an adapt or die type of league. And if you don't adapt, you will die. And we're seeing Pete literally making that happen with this team, and that fucking sucks. Dixon says, I want to QB in the first, but you can persuade me to draft PPA. I want to QB in the first 2, but it all depends whether or not Pete is going to be here. Unfortunately, we won't know until the offseason. That all revolves around him, and that's the part. That's a fucked up part. So let's see here. Kappa plays too many positions to cut. Right guard, center, wide receiver. There you go. I know, dog. Shit. I guess so. I guess he's earning his 11. Fuck. Troy says no. It should be Spy Tech to make. It should be Spy Tech to make decisions. Not Pete. Don't trust his son, and he's not any good coach our line sucks 100%, bro. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how I would go into this draft with Pete still here. You know, for sure, I don't see us getting a quarterback at number two if we have the number two pick, number three, number one, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't see that happening. We're gonna end up being top five. We just don't know exactly where. You know, right now we're four, could be three by the end of the night. Don't know. Right? We're gonna be two by the end of the season, or stay at four. We don't know. Right? That's just how it is. But either way, I don't see Pete drafting in our best interest. Pete is going to draft for his best interest, and that's what you get when you get a coach who's fucking not thinking the long term sense. It's only thinking about the immediate future. What can I do to win now? That is the message he's portraying. If you guys haven't caught on to that message, that is the message he's consistently sending out. I want to win now. Well, how the fuck are you gonna do that when you don't have talent, Pete? You got to get talent. You got to draft talent, or you got to go buy talent. You did neither this offseason. You got very minimal talent, or guys that you thought were talented, and they ended up not being that way. You're trying to play guys out of their position, which just doesn't fucking work. Not all the time. Shout out to my guy Loon. He says our online was shit before Pete. It was shit before Pete, and that's that. I don't know if you heard um, Q's remark. He said probably like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. He says when he talked to John and Pete early in the offseason and mentioned the O line, they loved the O line. They thought it was there was nothing really a whole lot wrong with it. Maybe like a position or two, and that's why they just went out and really got Kappa, right? And I mean they still drafted guys, younger guys to kind of revitalize, but there was no real hard emphasis on the offensive line, and that it makes sense now that we're seeing it. 8 months later, 9 months later, or whatever it is, 10 months now. It makes sense for them to say that type of thing. And this is what we reap. It's crazy. Let's see here. Raider Way says Spytek is not impressive. Let's see. Nav says Pete needs to advise his wife that he needs to spend more time at home and show his Friday plan. Show her his Friday plan. There you go, bro. That's what's up. Shout out to John Leon. He says Giants kicker had his eyes closed and he entirely missed the football. Okay, damn, I missed it. I gotta watch the fucking highlights of it before it gets all live. My guy Loon says Pete was here for win now. And since that it ain't worked now, it's time to search for a young coach to take us into the future 100%. And that's the thing. And I don't want to speak too much into the possibilities because I just don't know. I hope this fucking front office make the smart move and just has to just almost just clean slate everybody. They have to just blank slate everybody and just start over again. You have to go ahead and do that. So hopefully they do that, and I have guys that I like. I like Chris Shula, Joe Brady. Um, you know, McCarthy. You could throw McCarthy into that. I think with McCarthy, a lot of his shit was just the clashing between him and Jerry Jones. But you can at least throw him in there to bring into interview. Um, you got Mike. I like Mike LaFleur as offensive coordinator and just go more offensive oriented for sure. Give that guy a shot. You know, but yeah, so some are, there's a couple more names. You got Brian Flores. You got a few more names you could go ahead and throw into that ring as well. So, um, you know, either way, whatever that looks like, got to throw money at it for sure. Let's see here. My guess, Spytek is grinding his teeth down to the to the quick. Telling Mark we gotta get out of this. Yeah, for sure, bro. Um, I heard Raiders may hire Jimmy Johnson to replace Pete. That would be a little bit of step in the wrong direction. I think Jimmy's like in his 80s or some shit, mid 80s. I don't know. I think he's like 81, 82, something like that. Let's see, Leatherwood. Okay. Um, I know, bro. Hit up Bill Parcells for sure. Uh, yeah, draft online first, then find franchise free agent online. Sorry, excuse me. Then find a free agent online that is ready to roll in the trenches first. I don't know if you. That's the thing. I'm all about this. I'm kind of leery about this Leatherwood whole pick going for alignment in the first. I think if I just have to do my research. Honestly, it's probably because I haven't done any research on linemen. That's probably why I'm feeling this way. But once find out alignment, if you guys know him any, I can start doing my little research. That they start heading that way, on guys that are out there. Um, you know, we talked about Membu. This past draft, we talked about uh, um, damn it. There's a couple of linemen that I had mentioned early in the off season where we're doing the whole draft thing. So just getting back to that, where I can feel more confident. I'm like, okay, if this guy becomes available, we can go ahead and take a flyer on this guy. But it's just haven't done that. So let's see here. Sackdown says this Monday night game has been fun to watch. Okay, there you go. Oh shit, that's crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and tap into that in just a bit. Natman says Mark Spytek, Al Davis has spoken from above. Take down the dead trees and rebuild anew. There you go, for sure, 100%. But let me go over a couple more things. But I mean, hey, either way, whatever this offseason is going to look like, I just hope that it's not with Pete here, and it's going to be for all the betterment as well. So we'll see what happens with that. But as of right now, yes, I feel that Pete here, we're not going to be able to go ahead and grow. We're not going to be able to go ahead and really better this team for sure. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Upcoming shows. All right. So let's get into this. Upcoming show, of course, I'm going to be on with the fellas on Wednesday night. So make sure you guys go ahead and pull up for the Raider Connection on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific on the West Coast. Make sure you guys go ahead and tap into that. Just make sure you guys go ahead and look out for Good Morning Readers every damn Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific. Most Saturdays, I should say. So make sure you guys go ahead and tune into that. But the real announcement I want to go ahead and make is that I am planning to go ahead and do. Where's my thing here? Oh, I lost it. Damn. Hold on one second. All right. I plan to do a members only show coming up next Monday. We got new members in the building now. Got almost about 30. We're going to do a members only show. This is a kicker. I'm going to have it open mic. Yes, can go ahead and come up, talk your shit. Really let your voice be heard. We're going to do ahead and do the damn thing. Open mic next Monday, members only. So make sure you guys go ahead and pull up for that one. It's going to be a hot one. I'm going to probably do like a quick, maybe 20, 30-minute regular live, but then we'll go ahead and carry over. We'll do about a good hour or so on members only. We'll do open mic. So salute to all the members. I'll put something out again as a reminder. I'll start really go ahead and laying the groundwork for this for next Monday, we are going to do a members only live stream. We're going to have an open mic. Anybody can come back up, come on, talk your shit, give your opinions. Again, with me, there's no right or wrong answer. I might not be in agreement with you, but your voice will be heard. Your voice will be respected. Your opinion will be respected. So, okay, all good. Shout out to Ernest in the building, bro. I haven't seen you in a minute. Shout out to my guy, raised belong in the college ranks. Shit, dog. Sometimes I don't know, even if we belong in the D1 ranks at times. We look so bad. It's just been that type of thing. So here you go. Nav says several Pro Bowl level O linemen have not been signed beyond this year. I'm just saying. Okay, there you go. So yeah, things to look at for sure. But again, make sure you guys go ahead and put it on your calendar. Members only coming up next Monday. If you're not a member, go ahead, click that link that's pinned up top. Become a member today. Go ahead and be a part of that show. Whether you want to go ahead and continue spectating, or you want to be a part of the show, open mic, you guys will be able to go ahead and come on and do the damn thing with me. It's your boy Jay Raider. Salute to you guys. It'll be some great. I'll have a couple great segments we're gonna go ahead and talk about, and we'll keep it lively like that post game reaction show. So I'm pretty sure we'll have a lot to talk about next Monday after this Broncos game coming up. Jesus Christ. Are you dreading that game? So make sure you guys go ahead and tap in for that. But other than that, I appreciate you guys. Salute to you guys. Again, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button on your boy on this show. It does help to go ahead and really promote the show and get the show out there to the YouTube universe. Appreciate you guys. Salute to you guys. And everything that comes up. Any news that drops, obviously I'll go on. Make sure you guys don't be left out in the dark. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification on your guy. But that is my time for today. Appreciate you guys pulling up and tapping in. Again, make sure you guys go ahead and pull up next week for that members only. We're going to do a quick live. That'll be just what we do now. But I'll really open it up for that members only. And I'll have links to that. So make sure you guys go ahead and pull up. Again, if you're not a member, I have the links on each of the streams, vertical and horizontal, regular style, pinned up top. So make sure you guys go ahead and hit that link and become a member today. And that way you can go ahead and participate in that open mic coming up next Monday. So other than that, appreciate you guys. Let's see. One more from Nav. He says, if the Broncos make this next game close, they are questionable in the playoffs. Nuff said probably another one and done, dog. I want to be surprised. Another fucking one and done. That's what you get from these guys. But all right, y'all. That is it. I'll see you guys next time. As always, remember, just Raiders, baby. Make sure y'all keep your heads up. Check on your people. Love on your people. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.